Now to our weekly cross to the London Stock Exchange. Building a brand is a key part of developing a successful business. It's safe to say, though, that some brands are more valuable than others. Indeed, if you add up the value of the BrandZ list of the world's top 100 brands, they're worth $3.6 trillion. So, why are those top 100 brands so successful, and what can your business learn from them? Joining me to discuss that is Elspeth Cheung from Kantar Millward Brown. Elspeth, many thanks for joining us. I'd like to start by asking about those brands. As I said, they're valued at $3.6 trillion. What are the key drivers that make those businesses as valuable as they are?
Hi, John. Thank you for having me here today. So we have been doing this BrandZ global ranking for 12 years now. And what we observe is there are 5 things that are very important to build a valuable brand today. So number 1 is to have a great purpose. And purpose shapes the overall organization and how a brand reacts to its consumers. Second of all is innovations, whether you're really keeping up innovating as the changing consumer needs are going nowadays. And more importantly is great advertising together with a good brand experience, because your brand is not perceived to be innovative unless you can actually make the consumers feel so. And all of these altogether will develop a sense of love by its consumers. And this is how we build a healthy brand. And in our BrandZ survey, what we conclude is that for healthy brands, you will grow your brand value by 15 times more than a brand which is least healthy in our survey.
Now, you mentioned innovation there, Elspeth. How important is it for a brand to be innovative today?
It's very important, John, for innovation, because if we take a look at our top brands nowadays in our ranking this year, they're all dominated by the ones which are very, very innovative brands. So, for example, Google, Amazon, Apple, and also the like of Tencent, which is the only Chinese brand in our ranking. So what happens is, for brands which are innovative, you will lock consumers up in an ecosystem. And what we mean by ecosystem, for example, Amazon, a year ago when I was talking to people about Amazon, is one click away, you can get your goods at your doorstep in 2 hours' time. But this year, what has been changed is you don't even need to move your finger. You just have to talk to Alexa and say, I need some beach toys for my vacation next week. That's it. You don't even need to do anything else. So the whole relationship with consumers nowadays is driven by artificial intelligence. And these top brands are doing so well in making the brands great again.
And when you look at the top 100 brands, what are the key learnings on how to build a successful brand? What can our viewers learn from them?
Right. Thank you, John. So as what I discussed is the mentality of ecosystem. So when we did our ranking first time back in 2006, our relationship with brands is very straightforward. So we drove at Toyota, we shopped at Walmart, we bank with Citi. But if we take a look at our ranking nowadays, the brands which are dominating our ranking are the ones which create ecosystems, which are locking our consumer need on one single platform. So for example, Google, Microsoft, Apple, and the one that I would like to highlight here is Tencent. So the only Chinese brand that we have in the ranking. So Tencent is the combined equivalent of Facebook, Twitter, Uber, PayPal, and even Amazon, all in one single platform. And that's very important because consumers, once they are on that platform, they could hardly go because their life is all about that platform. And that's why the Tencent platform can manage to attract almost 900 million active users since when they first launched. And that's very important because nowadays it's not about consumer loyalty, it's about consumer ownership. How much of a consumer can you own throughout the day, every day?
Now, very final question. If I could get a quick answer, that would be great. Can you give us an example of a business whose purpose has actually helped to drive growth?
Yeah, sure, definitely. The example that I would like to raise is Facebook. So before, they try to give a voice to consumers by making the world more open and connected. But last week, they said because there's a changing in consumer journey, consumer demand, according to the divided, as the society has become more divided. So what they are asking for now is to bring the world closer together. So having a very great purpose is the very first thing that a brand needs to do in order to achieve business purpose.
Well, I mean, Elspeth, we have to leave it there, but thank you very much for joining us today.